it's time to start the show. Sean Tanner, Ryan Righteous, DJ Jeremiah. We bringing the heat, man, this joint be fire like, bruh. We in the field, we in the field, bruh. We in the field, we in the field. Just put it in work, we raising the bar. You tuned in to the Trackstarz.
Hey, yo, what's cracking? It's your man Lecrae, aka Crazy Crayola, the bond servant. Right now, you listening to the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, and Jeremiah. I see you, boy. Hold it down. Yeah.
Yeah, back in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. What is good? All right, Ryan is out today, and his wife actually, Toya, surprised him with a birthday trip out of the country. Yeah. That's where he is right now. But we got DJ Lost and Found and Maya with us filling in. How y'all doing?
Yep. Good. What up, bro?
Hey, peeps.
Good.
Trackstarz fam.
So I'm happy to be back. Getting adjusted, I guess. But it's good to be back with you guys. I missed y'all. And let's just get into it, man. So honestly, Nevermind just dropped. It's a surprise drop from Drake. So we wanted to dissect this one. Seems like the last dissect we did kind of did a lot, but it's probably not going to be a lot of fireworks in this one, but still a lot of interesting things to talk about. What did you guys think of honestly Nevermind?
Who you want to start with?
Go ahead, DJ.
All right. So actually, I liked it. If I was like to grade it out of like 1 to 10, I'd probably give it like a 6, 7, something like that. But I don't expect a lot from Drake right now anyway. I think he got too much money. He too comfortable. I didn't like what was the last one? Certified Lover Boy. Wasn't feeling that at all. It sounded lazy to me. But this one is dope, man. I think what he did was he really tapped into some sounds that he's not used to. So he sounds like an artist that doesn't know what they're doing. But I like that he's exploring, man.
You said you liked it?
I did. It's a 6 and 7. It could have been better, right? Could have had some better people around you, right?
Yeah.
But he's tapping into that Jersey club, some Afro house. Like I love those genres. Like those are stuff that I play when I'm not listening to CHH. So it's not something that I'm gonna bump on a regular basis, but in the background I might do it, So I still like it though.
Jeremiah.
I loved it, man.
You loved it.
I loved it. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I feel like kind of like with DJ Lost and Found. Me and DJ Lost and Found got the same background, so
yeah, that
Jersey house thing is big for me. So when I heard it, I was like, oh, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think Drake reminds me. Somebody's gonna say this is blasphemous, but I don't care. He reminds me. His thought process reminds me of Jay-Z. When Jay-Z saw something coming, he got on it quick. And I think Drake is like that. When he's overseas, because y'all gotta understand, I think we think of rappers and we think of artists just about Americanized. There's some artists that go overseas and see what's popping overseas that's not hot in America yet and go, okay, this needs to be in America, or this needs to be in Canada, or wherever you're from. This needs to be like, I'm gonna make this hot. You know what I'm saying? And there's only a selective few of people that can say, I'm gonna make this hot wherever we go. So, in my personal opinion, when I heard the record, I was like, I could see people like, yo, so we gotta get on this house wave. You know what I'm saying? And then also, I think I'm glad I'm starting to see people talk about house music, because they always think it's like an EDM techno thing, and it's like, no, house music is black music. It's African American music. People started it in the Midwest and then migrated to different cities across the country. But at the same time, I think overall, was it lazy? Yeah, you could say that. Some of the stuff was very repetitive. I think Drake, when it comes to rapping, I think Drake is like, I tapped out. Like, yo, I dominated already. So now it's like, what do I need to do? You know what I mean? I don't really see no competitors up here. My numbers speak for themselves. So when I rap, I still outshine people when I rap. So it's like, let me try this. I mean, I did tweet this. I felt like this is his Heartbreaking 808s and Heartbreak album. Like he just was like, I'm gonna try this and I'm gonna do
Sean's face.
I know.
That's disrespectful, bro. That's disrespectful. I was with you until that.
No, I'm just saying, like, I just think that's it. I'm not saying it is. I just feel like this is an attempt for him because, I mean, when we first heard 808s and Heartbreak, a lot of people didn't like that album from the jump. And then all of a sudden it just started creeping up, and then you start seeing the influence of that album on the culture. And I feel like somebody tweeted out, like, yo, I've been in the studio for a couple of days, and all I'm starting to hear now, well, a couple of days, he's like, I've been in the studio last night. I went in a couple studios last night, and all I'm seeing is dudes trying to make house beats. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's influence over the culture. So I'm just saying this. One, I agree with DJ Lost and Found. Your traditional house records were kind of repetitive too. You know, In This House, I Beat That With a Bat, all those kind of records, Percolator, all very repetitive, but the beat kept building and getting better and better and better. So, but overall, I'll say that about the record. The video for the single that he had was hilarious. I didn't see the whole thing. I know we was riding and listening. Maya was watching it and was like, "This is a mess," of him marrying all the women. And I was like, "Babe, he married to the game." But I just think at the end of the day, for a person like me, who's a DJ / a person from New Jersey who grew up on house music, I'm like, I'm good. Like it was straight to me. So,
yeah. Maya.
Okay, I ain't gonna lie. When I first heard he dropped another album, I was like, didn't he just drop something? I was feeling like Soulja Boy, like, Drake. Like, I'm tired. Like, what is it? And I felt like, honestly, he knew Wayne liked Certified Lover Boy, so he was like, let me come quick with something that y'all might like. But when I heard it, I was like, oh, this is for the summer for real. Like, it's a vibe. Like, really, I could see people just rolling down the street at the beach or whatever, like playing this music. Like it's literally the summer anthem to me. And so I enjoyed it sonically much better than the last album. And honestly, lyrically, I felt like he had his moments where he was shining more. To your point, DJ Lost and Found, I thought Certified Lover Boy was very lazy. His flow was very lazy in that. And even on some tracks on this album, but again, at this point, he's like, what do I have to prove? But I feel like he stepped his game up, especially on a couple tracks that jumped out to me. So I definitely like this one better than the last. I'm digging the house vibe, and yeah, it's a vibe for the summer for real. So I enjoyed it.
Okay. So I would say that it's not bad. It's not bad. He did a good job on it. If you're not familiar with house music, it's kind of like there was an event that happened a long time ago at a baseball stadium where this DJ who hated disco had an event where they like burned and blew up a bunch of disco CDs.
Disco
and that
was dead. Yeah.
They said disco was dead, but disco actually didn't die at the time. The name disco probably died, but it got converted into house music in Chicago. So the Chicago guys, there was a place called the Warehouse, and they played music there, and they put it was a TR-909 bass drum, the beat machine. Like, you know, so hip hop is like 808s. This is 909s. That's the machine they use to make stuff. And they kind of created this sound. They called it house because it was at the Warehouse. And there's a whole history to that. I think the guy that is tied to that, Frankie Knuckles. Frankie Knuckles is that guy, right? So I think he was, the DJ, the guy who actually started the Warehouse, brought in to do it, if I remember. Somebody could clean that up for me. And that's where the house music part was born in Chicago. Now, it also, at the same time, in Italy, there was Italo disco going on. And then they got wind of house music, and then they kind of took the sound and made Italo house. So that's kind of the birth of all this. And then there was a lady. She was actually a gospel singer. Have you heard of Loletta Holloway, Maya? She was a gospel singer.
Vaguely
she
familiar.
Became a disco singer, and she had a song that everybody sampled. And house music heavily sampled her. So house music kind of started as like this big vocal, somebody kind of yell singing on a song. And with that 4 on the floor, boom, 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 boom.
I Follow me.
Every beat, had a kick. So that's kind of where house started. But then it morphed into a bunch of stuff. There's like a million house genres, and then there's a million EDM genres. So house is one of the EDM genres. There's like hardcore and trance and trap and all kinds of stuff, right? But each one of those has tons of genres underneath them. And this is a big culture that has always been there. This is back in '84 where a lot of this started. '79 is when the whole disco is dead thing happened. So it's been buzzing since then. But there's been kind of a resurgence. They have a lot of events in all across the country, across the world, in Vegas. They have something there. So this thing is growing. The reason I bring up all the history is that this is not a new thing. He's tapping into a sound that already exists, that's already huge. There's big, I think they call them big house, big room house guys that are real popular, the Tiestos and all those kind of stuff. So this is like a huge thing where nobody is singing or anything on stage. It's just music and lights, right? Mm-hmm. And they'll have hundreds of thousands of people out there just jumping up and down. So this is a huge thing he's tapping into. So I say all that to say he may be catching wind of a trend ahead of time. Drake is really, really good at keeping his ear to the street to hear what's coming next. And this house thing is blowing up. And he may notice, let me get ahead of this. Let me dip my toe into it a little bit further, because like Jeremiah said, this is an international audience he's appealing to. It's not just about what's happening in America. So America might be like, what is that? But this thing is happening globally. So Drake is one of those artists, and there's a lot of artists where they go and they find things that are popping on the street and they take it. Drake is really good at crediting the people he's taking stuff from, but he is taking, right? So I'm just saying he may be noticing a trend. So if Jeremiah is saying that there's house duplicates coming from all these other artists, it's because Drake is the leader of these guys, and when he does something, they pay attention. They're like, "Oh crap, is that where we're going? Is that where we're going?" Yeah. So this could be a flop because he may have pivoted too fast, because there's a lot of house on one album. But we'll see. The reactions online have been interesting. A lot of people making fun of it, but as with Drake, like if it sticks, then the same people are going to be making the same music he's making later on. So my reaction was it sounds good. Not for me. Hip hop has a feel to it that it kind of makes, like stank face type music. This is more like, just happy, like bouncing up and down music. It's not really for me, but I get it. What were you saying, DJ?
No, I was gonna say we've seen this before. Back when we had like Rihanna and Chris Brown starting to do the EDM.
Yeah.
Same exact thing. They didn't execute perfectly, right? It sounded like EDM light to me, like when they first started doing it. But eventually it caught on in hip hop and and exploded, and everybody was doing it. You can even see also now we're seeing with drill. Drill came from the UK. Then I think it went over to Chicago. Then New York got a hold of it, and it's kind of changed in how people have kind of taken it and now added samples to it and all that type of stuff. But that caught on. So I think he's probably a couple years ahead, but I think once the money starts rolling in, then I think that changes the industry.
But here's the thing: house and EDM is different, though. I think people.
Oh, yeah. Well, house is EDM though. Yeah, electronic dance. It is electronic dance.
Yeah,
music.
But I mean, I think it's a version. It's the pure version of EDM to me. You get what I'm saying? Like house is the originator of this. You know what I mean? So, and then they marry it. Then it goes from house to, back in the day, techno. You know what I mean? But it was all those fusions of, honestly, from the Midwest, like from Chicago, Detroit, all these places. But what I'm saying is, like, I don't consider that EDM what Drake did. Some of that is house music,
but it is
mixed with Afro beats as well.
But house is considered EDM. It's electronic dance music. I call it's robot music. If you see one of these concerts, it sounds like robots made it, right? It's music. So it's considered EDM. It's just there's so many different flavors of EDM though. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
House is like one of like a million different versions of it.
A good example of that is I would say this for people. Well, Daft Punk, like, okay, so Daft Punk would have a big EDM record, but then they would go have a house record, kind of like they had a record called Around the World, and then when you hear it, it sounds like very house record, right? And then they flip it and have a big type of EDM sounding record.
But Jeremiah, what you're saying is they flipped it from one type of EDM to another type. They didn't go from house to EDM. They went from one type of EDM to another type of EDM. It's all considered EDM.
But I think what I'm saying is for the people who grew up on house music, they would say this isn't EDM. You get what I'm saying? Like they would say EDM took from house versus house is EDM.
I think the EDM category emerged after house, but it still is considered part of the category.
I see what you mean. So I mean, I think BC said it best. So basically, house is urban EDM, exactly. Because majority of famous house records, when you play them in certain areas in the United States, people go crazy over them, and majority of the time is African American people.
Well, no, I think your categorizing it a little differently. There's a ton of different house types too. There's some that don't sound urban at all. So I think it's best to say EDM started urban and then branched out to a bunch of different cultures. That's what I would say. There's some that sound more like hip hop than others. This sounds more like, to me, I don't know, I'm not an expert in house music, but this sounds like deep house to me, what Drake was doing. It sounds almost a little like, I don't really know the difference between lo-fi and house, because this seemed like it was on the border of both of those sometimes.
Well, lo-fi is more boom bap.
Yeah, but
lo-fi at times,
but to me, when you see those Drake lo-fi, chill Drake YouTube channels where they kind of slow down all the Drake stuff, it sounds like he made that stuff.
Got you.
So
I think. Go ahead, John.
It just seems like it's. I honestly, when I listen to all these different house types, if you just played a house track, I wouldn't know what type it was. I'm just being, unless it's super obvious that it's like tropical house or like some acid or something. Like the differences are very slight, and I don't know how they're able to tell what's what. But there are trap and deep house. Those sound the closest to hip hop, and it sounds the closest to what he did. So it still had a hip hop tinge to it. My thought is Drake may be saying, because there's not a lot of vocal performances in EDM. Yeah. It's a lot of just instrumental stuff. He may be saying, well, let me corner the market on making songs that have some lyrical content on top. There's a bunch of vocal types of EDM, but let me corner the market. I'm the biggest artist, so let me make a type of EDM that now my peers are going to copy, because there's not a lot. Usually when you see a concert that I've seen, there's nobody standing up there with a microphone. It's usually a DJ.
Yeah.
And that reminds me of the beginnings of hip hop, when the DJ was the king, right?
Yeah.
And then the vocalist came in later. So maybe he's seeing this could be a pivot point where I can be the leader of the vocalist on top of EDM. Just a thought. I don't know.
Well, okay. Let's go to, what do you think the singles are? Because in my mind, it's one song I heard. I was like, oh, that's the single automatically.
Well, the one he actually chose is good. Sticky to me is good.
Yeah, Sticky's a single automatically.
A lot of people like the last one with 21. I didn't really like it, but
I don't like Massive.
Massive is another single. Yeah. But to me, Sticky was the obvious one. It just sounded the best to me.
Yeah, and I think that's gonna blow. And it's already. I think the video was like 4 million, but that one had like Sticky had how many big? Like 1 million?
No, Sticky had 1 million. Everything else was kind of under 1 million from his.
That's the hit. You know what I mean? And I think what people forget is Drake, even though he's the influencer of hip hop right now, like people follow his trends, he still is an international artist. Toronto is an international city. That's why when Views happen, you got One Dance. That's why you got, Passion Fruit. You got all those type of
the More records. Life one was kind of
More Life, because that's he's in a place where it's just not just black people and white people. It's Caribbean people. It's all type Jamaican. It's all
still
type
black,
of people.
Still black.
Yeah, I know, but that's a whole nother conversation, Sean.
Still
you don't want to get into that. But I'm just saying, it's just so different people there, and styles and different backgrounds and different music. I heard about people were telling me about Toronto. Like Toronto is like a gumbo. You know what I mean? Multiple different things.
They have one of the biggest like Jamaican festivals.
Yeah.
Anyway, but my one thing that I noticed, here's another genre that was started by a Christian. Is this good or bad? Secondly, when are we gonna start copying it? When is the next hot CHH artist gonna make a house record? Because it's gonna happen.
Honestly, there's a lot of Christian rappers that when they do those, like you do a single, sometimes they do remix albums, they do remix songs, and people remix on them. But I mean, I don't know if a lot of people do that, but yeah, there's some in the past that've done like house.
I'm talking about a whole record with singles, not alternate versions, but the actual.
Yeah, Chris Howland is the guy. I think he's the house guy for us.
Yeah, he is. Chris Howland. He's CHH. He's a
but
very good dude.
It shows me that we really do need to learn more about it.
Hey, Sade got some crazy house records.
Also Jersey
all day.
What's up?
But
Jersey all day.
It shows me that because we've been having conversations, we need to start paying attention to these other genres outside of the Christian hip hop bubble. There's more to learn, and there's more artists in these other bubbles that we don't know about. So anyway, let's do that. Let's
Canton Jones do have that necessary remix that go hard.
Yeah. So let's get back into it and catch up. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
Dudes are trying to get the right set up music, then look no further than the music submission tool by Trackstarz. Trackstarz has been in the industry for well over a decade and is the #4 music submission site in the world. Our goal is to make sure your music is put in front of the right people. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and sign up today.
All of the talk, I'm finna dead it. I'm by that action, like it's a fetish. If I put the work in, I need the credit. I go the hardest, and y'all can forget it. I'm sorry, 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 I'm sorry. I'm in their neck, I came to collect. I put them in check. For the respect, I've been around. You tell me I'm next, ain't begging a cent. Still I'm a threat. I started off great, then it went left. Cover my face, watching my step, watching my back now. I never back down. Look at the stats now, feel like I'm back now. Soon as I walked in, they gave me the pat down. I got it down pat, give you the facts now. Ain't got a why on me. They just be lying on me. People are dying on me. I got a fire on me. I gotta move. I gotta go. When was you my OG? I ain't even got the time to tell a goofy what it's not gonna be. Ain't no hitter by my side. It just be the hand of God on me. Y'all already took a loss. It ain't really what the convo be. All of the talk, I'm finna dead it. I'm by that action, like it's a fetish. If I put the work in, I need the credit. I go the hardest, and y'all can forget it. I'm sorry, 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 I'm sorry. I'm finna do what I came here to do. Nothing pertaining to you, danger to who? You were behaving in school. When was you banging the two? Switching the vibes, now you a different guy. And look at you dead in the eye, ain't no surprise. You went and get a disguise, clearly you couldn't decide. Jeez, how you gonna get like me? Couldn't even get like you. I don't keep the thing on me. Look what happened when I shoot. Killing everything I do. Yeah, real is everything I do. Yeah, you can try to get like that. We ain't got the same IQ. Got it on now, they all in astonishment. Who got the balls? I'm leaving Alcoholics Anonymous. Count the cost. This is like Malcolm Martin combining with Spurgeon when he was writing his sermons. To fix your eyes on him, I'm mouthing off. Look to the mountains often for my defense from out the dark. You better act like you know what time it is. Look where you walking, look who you forming alliance with. Wade in the water, we waging wars in our mind and all of the talk. I'm finna dead it. I'm by that action, like it's a fetish. If I put the work in, I need the credit. I go the hardest, and y'all can forget it. I'm sorry, 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 I'm sorry.
It's time for the entertainment report with Jeremiah.
It's entertainment report time, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Let's get to it. All right, man. All right. First off, we got to talk about Selah the Corner and AI anomaly leaving God over money. Man, Selah and AI contracts was fulfilled with GOM, and they both are no longer on the label. It's all love between them and Biz and the label. Everything's good, but they decided to move on and do some other things. So I'm possibly hearing some music coming from both of them soon. So I know AI was like, she got some stuff and she cooking on some stuff. And then, Selah, he's still there. Everything's cool. I mean, but the roster's still the same. At Got Over Money, you still got some other people that's still there holding it down. Jared, of course, Bizzle, of course, Dayton, Monster Tarva now, their newest person. Bumps. So yeah, man. So GOM still doing their thing. Their project is still fire. We still got to do a line for line with them. Please let me know who you want to see a line for line with GOM with their project. We got to do that soon. All right, Unashamed tour coming to the West Coast. Reach Records embarking on the Unashamed tour 2 with a new set of dates for the late summer, early fall. They still aren't really hitting the East Coast, with exception of South Carolina, but they are. But they're hitting the West Coast hard. So the second leg of the Unashamed tour is coming to the West Side and some Southern states as well. So be on the lookout for that. If you want to go to that, of course, go to their website. They can give you more information about buying tickets and everything else. And you can see where they're going to be in your town if you're on the West Coast or if you're in the Midwest, or the South, So go check them out. All right, man. A big news this week in the NFL. Corey Willis retires to spread the gospel. Indiana Colts starting safety Corey Willis announced Wednesday that he is retiring after 3 seasons in the NFL to pursue a future in ministry. With much prayer and deliberation, I have elected to officially retire from the NFL as I endeavor to devote the remaining of my life to further advancement of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Willis, who's 26, he wrote this on Instagram. I thank all my family, friends, and those who have supported me on this journey thus far. I look forward to your continued support through the next phase of my life. I am both humbled and excited to pursue the holy call that God has for my life, which brings me much joy and purpose. Thank you all for support over the years. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was good. I mean, they asked his coaches about it. He said, we're thankful and appreciative of Kyrie's contributes to the Colts both on and off the field over the last 3 seasons. His character, leadership, and professionalism will be missed on our locker room as well. His play on Sundays, I admire, respect his decision to transition to the next stage of his life and ministry, and my prayers will always be with him. So that's big, man. I mean, 3 years. I mean, that's huge. Like when you walk away from like something like that, and he was only 26. So that's big, bro. You don't hear stuff like that. Like, yo, I'm done with football or done with everything just to go spread the gospel. That's
awesome.
That's a good thing. All right, man. Here it is, man. Something in Hollywood is going on, man. Something in Hollywood is going on. I ain't gonna say it's something in Hollywood. I think it just have to be a man and being a husband and protecting your woman. You know what I'm saying? I think this is the year of protecting your wife. You know what I mean? Because Tom Hanks went off on some people this week, bro. They were outside of a hotel. Him and his wife was walking. Him and his wife, Rita Wilson, they were walking. And somebody bumped his wife and stuff, and she's kind of stumbled. He yelled like, "Stop it! Back off!" He said, "Back the blank off." He shouted at, "Knock it over my wife!" Like he was going crazy. People was they know. They was like, "Tom, that you, Tom? Tom, what's going on?" And one of the dudes had a ball that looked like Wilson. Was like, "Sorry about that, Tom." Like it was crazy, man. I've never seen him like that. Like I've never seen Tom Hanks that, man. Even when he playing somebody, man, I've never seen him that. So,
yeah, that's true.
I know. So that's crazy, man. So protect your woman, man. Protect your wife. Now they did have people online was saying like, "Yo, what's the difference, right? Which way was the best way? Will Smith way or Tom Hanks? What y'all think? Are the men, brothers that's on the planet right now? What do y'all think? Which was the best way?" And not just take it off the stage with Will Smith. Let's say he's in the streets.
Tom Hanks, for one, he got the point across without putting his hands on nobody. I respect this gangster, bro. I'm like, all right, Tom Hanks. I ain't gonna step you on your wife's foot. You know what I mean? So I don't want no problems. Ain't no beef.
Yeah. Sean, what you think, bro?
I didn't see it, so I don't know for sure. But I think the Will Smith way. You're saying take it off because it was so elaborate what he did.
Yeah,
it was
on
ridiculous.
stage. It was on stage. I'm
So
talking
you
about
mean
take
just
it
hitting
off, like,
somebody in the street?
like you walking down the street and somebody say something crazy to Alfie.
If their hand is currently on Alfie, then you get Will.
Yeah.
If you keep your hands to yourself, you could get Tom. But it's up to you.
Got you. So you say it's on you, player.
It's up
It's
to
on
you.
you, playboy.
Yeah.
Babe, which one? Which one I gotta do? Which one I gotta do?
I don't want you to go to jail. I don't. So I'll settle for Tom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's good to know. All right, here we go. Comment section this week. Maverick City and Kirk Franklin got a good one called Kingdom Book 1. YB Wings of an Angel, Intellect, Living Weapons, Direct, Year of Redemption, Toby and Wigway, Round Here single, SO, Now or Later single, Drew Beck's Reality Check single. Shout out to Drew Beck's. Drew Beck's is another one that interfused a lot of good music with hip hop. So shout out to him. Ecleso, same with him. Left Hand Shorty, I think Shanty, a single. Shepherd, George Dot Rose, and Mike T's Night Owl single. And Kid Lee, Take Off single. Remember, you can hear these songs on our Milk playlist. Some good Christian R&B, feel good playlist. DJ, Lost and Found. You want to talk about this, man? You want to talk about what you got going on?
Yeah. So September 2nd, I'm going to be dropping the album. 50 artists on one album. I don't know if it's been done before in CHH, but we're doing it. And you're going to hear anybody from an AI to a Selah to an Aaron Cole to Big Breeze, Eris Ford. Man, there's so many people in this album, man, and I'm really excited just to push it, man. I appreciate the platform to speak about it, man, because this has been 2 years in the making, and it's really just a labor and love for those in CHH. And the big thing is also it's a not only Christian artists in CHH, but even in the mainstream. So I showed some love. You got people like, exclusive. People like Nucci Rayos on there. I got somebody see Red, a young girl, Tally Sama, who's a killer out there lyrically. No Tom Hanks. But I'm excited for this to come out September 2nd. So we pushing.
So just explain the 50, like how many tracks if it's going to be 50 artists on there.
Yeah, it's a little bit too early to say how many tracks.
Yeah.
But I'll say my last album was 26 artists on 8 tracks. This is, let's just say, way more than that, in the double digits. So
dope.
We talking 12 and up. Like we talking.
Got you.
It's full album this time.
Are you combining some of the songs you have already with it, or is it going to be everything new?
So everything is. I have 5 singles that dropped already. Right.
Okay.
Everything is from 2021 and up. If you check, Spotify, or even go to my website, djlostandfound.com.
Yeah.
All the singles are on there. And most of the singles are current from February and up this year. So yeah.
Got you. Go support DJ Lost and Found, man.
Absolutely.
Support him, bro. Support him. Regardless how you feel about Golden State, but support him. Support him. Support him. He don't believe in King Curry, but support him. Regardless of the thing. Support him. All right. That's it for me in the entertainment report.
All right, let's get back into it. You in the field with the track stars, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
For the biggest album genre, 50 artists. That's right, 50 artists on one album. Curated by DJ Lost and Found. Featuring singles like What's the Move?
Look into my eyes, I can see your worth. Yeah. When I come through, I'ma tell you one truth.
And Foolish. Hear your favorite artists like AI The Anomaly, 350, Aaron Cole, Mission, SO, Dayton, Eris Ford, Bats, and more. Censoring 2 is streaming on all major platforms. September 2nd.
You are listening to the Track Stars with Sean Tanner, Ryan Righteous, and DJ Jeremiah.
Right now, you're in the field with the Track Stars.
Track stars.
Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah.
Right now you listening to the track stars.
You know what time it is.
good? It's your boy Navigate, you Trackstarz music artist, and you are in the field with the family Trackstarz Radio.
Trackstarz Radio.
We got in the field, Trackstarz. Get it, got it, good.
Ain't no podcast beef. We got respect for y'all.
Yeah.
But respect the grind, baby. Respect the grind. I gotta get the flex bombs today. Respect the grind.
What's going on? It's your girl Angie Rose, and if you didn't know, you're La Familia, and you're in the field with the Trackstarz.
All right, back in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Make sure you go to trackstarz.com for all the latest. If you're an artist, send us your music videos. If you're a producer, send us your beats. You can do all that on trackstarz.com. If you're a fan and you just want to hear what's coming, you know what the independent artists are working on, go to leaks.trackstarz.com. You can hear brand new, fresh music. So I wanted to talk about something that my wife brought to my attention. So she's a big fan of Kev on Stage. And recently she was asking me, he's a Christian, he's a comedian, and he does shows, but the other comedians on his show curse, talk about sexual stuff, whatever. His other co-hosts may curse, talk about sexual stuff, whatever. He stays away from it, but he allows it around him. And it got us into a conversation about, as a Christian in the media space, what are you supposed to do? What's the right way to do this? And I actually asked Kev on Stage when I interviewed him the same question. But if you're a Christian and you have a passion for artistry or business or whatever, and you don't want to just be Christian entertainment, right? Like where Christians can enjoy your stuff and get fun out of it, but you're kind of preaching to the choir almost. You have a desire to reach out to people who may not be Christians. I think everybody inherently wants that because inherently that's what a Christian is supposed to do, is reach the lost, right? So if that's the mission, how do you navigate it when there's opportunities to compromise or what can be seen as compromising? And if you don't compromise, you're essentially saying that I'm only going to take opportunities to talk to Christians. How do you do both? What is Kev on Stage supposed to do? If he wants to be as big as Kevin Hart, how does he do that as a Christian? Because if he has only Christian content and only allows Christian comedians on his platform, he'll probably only reach Christians. Mm-hmm. If he does what he's doing, he has a better chance to reach non-Christians, but then it may look just like he's doing what everybody else is doing. So how do you balance that, Maya?
That's a good question. I mean, I honestly feel like you have to, depending on what season you're in, you have to be honest with yourself on whether or not you can be around or in an environment where you're around secular artists and not be influenced by them versus you influencing them. So you have to figure out, first of all, if you're in a good enough space spiritually and mature enough spiritually where you can be the influencer versus influence. And then also too, even with that, you have to still be wise about the secular people that you want around you, because some secular creatives and artists or whatever, they're just unapologetically who they are and they're not trying to do anything right or live right or find God or anything. They're doing them and it is what it is. And then some, you could tell the door is open. They're just trying to figure out how to do it. Like how to be a wholesome, upright, non-compromising Christian creative, and they need that example. So really figuring that out. But I would say, honestly, if you can be in a scenario or a situation where you are like the influencer versus the influencee, then I think you're okay. And I would say a great example of that, or one way you can kind of tell, is do people apologize almost when they do something that could be offensive, or are they mindful of their actions and their words when they're around you without you even saying anything? You know, I know there are at moments when people will apologize for cursing, and I'm like, I ain't said nothing, I ain't did nothing, I ain't said, you know, this is, I don't do this or I do this, but they just know. And so in those cases, it's obvious that you're influencing versus them influencing you. And so, but it depends on your level of spiritual maturity, and then also the people around you, if they're even open to God. Because if they're open to God, then that's an opportunity for you to influence them.
What do you think?
So I think, man, it's hard. This is a hard question because I don't think that there's just one answer. And maybe because I'm in a space right now where my thoughts are kind of like tossing with this. So I kind of feel like when I read scripture, it tells us to not, like, in one sense, don't judge the world, because they're going to do what the world does, right? They don't have a regenerated heart. They don't have the Holy Spirit, you know, working in them to change them. So what good is it to judge them, right? So in that sense, I would say it doesn't matter what they do in that sense. Like, I'm not going to judge what they do. But then also, and if you're thinking Kev on Stage is the owner of this media and what he's putting out, then it is important what message you're sending, right? So even like for me, on my album, I had somebody who cursed, right? And what they did was amazing. But I had to go back to them. I was like, yo, I have a conviction. This person was a Christian too. And I was like, I have a conviction. You can't curse. I don't curse. So can you just re-record that? Can you just switch it up? Let's just, you know, change the words to this, right? Because I wanted to make sure what I'm putting out, especially because I do focus on the Christian community, that I wanted to make sure that this is gonna not be something that is like a conviction killer for people, right? So of course there's always going to be somebody who has an issue with it, but for the most part, I don't think it's sinful now, like, because he's taken out that and changed it up. So being the owner of media, yeah, you have to be careful. You have to be careful with how you move. But from the standpoint of just, you know, on a regular basis, just judging non-believers, they're gonna do what they're gonna do, you know.
Think, Jeremiah.
I was sitting back thinking, like, wow, because this is a very good question. I think thinking about Kev, I know he has a platform, Kev on Stage Studios, that's doing great. He's I think when I think about a lot of social media people who are hot, he's one of them.
Yep.
And I also think about his comedy show that he has on his platform, where it's like, I forgot, it was like birthed during the pandemic, and he calls it keep your distance comedy. I believe it is.
Yeah.
So I think personally, I think he's friends with a lot of people that are comedians, and I feel like if he thinks you're funny, he's going to put you on. And I think and it's not a race thing, but I think if you're young, black in Hollywood, he wants to help you, in my opinion. Like, if you're on your come up in Hollywood, if you're a woman, if you are a dude that's funny, but young black, I mean, he's had white people on there too, so don't get it twisted. But I feel like that's his urge. I feel like he feels like God is calling him to the young black coming up, because it's hard. Like, I mean, they weren't giving out people like Netflix deals of people that was like him, who had an audience of church people who, you know what I mean? It wasn't just happening. So he was like, well, I got to build this myself, because a lot of people they're not going to do that. So I think it's just hard to understand what the platform is. And then also, is it a Christian comedy show? If it's a Christian comedy show, then that's something different. But if it's just a comedy show, it's like...
Well, I get what you're saying, but that's kind of the question. As a Christian, is there any such thing as not being a Christian? Should you...
We talk about something all the time, Sean. We talk about the chicken sandwich, right?
Right.
As Chick-fil-A created chicken sandwich, they don't go in there and say, you know, Chick-fil-A is Christian owned, But the chick sandwich should be for anybody that walking at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
but
now if Hugh McCaffrey, not Hugh McCaffrey, but I think I'm saying the name right. But if the CEO of Chick-fil-A like, okay, we're gonna do a chicken sandwich only for Christians. This is for my platform I'm doing is only for Christians. You know what I'm saying?
But that's not that's not the comparison. The comparison is if chicken was Christian or not, and chicken cursed or not, and chicken talked about sex or not, and I was giving you one that did and one that didn't. It's not about exclusively. So basically,
if I like chicken spicy, I like spicy chicken sandwich or a regular chicken sandwich.
Yeah,
that's what we saying.
The chicken itself is the problem, not the people you're giving it to. So, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So I think that's the core. I don't know what to do. This is a Trackstarz problem too. I'm sure you guys have conversations with creative air as well. How do you do this correctly? You guys did the short film. Your goal in your heart is, I want to make something that could reach the world, not just, I don't want to just be giving this to people who already know what we're talking about. Like that. Yeah. I think every Christian deep down in their heart feels that. The problem is people have bills, right? So you have to do something. If you want to do it, has to be successful enough so that you can keep doing it at some point. There's different alternatives. You can work a full-time job and do it on the side. You can do other things, but to really, like what every Christian creative really wants to do is to do it full-time with all of their might and have creative control over it and be successful. That's what they want. The problem is, to be successful, it seems like you have to make a compromise. Either you can be successful saying all Christian, everything Christian, because Christians love that and they'll buy your stuff. Yeah. But your heart is also saying, that's not really what I want. I want to reach the lost because that's what Jesus wants. But they don't want it. So they're not going to give you money for it. So in order for you to get money from those people, that's when you start being like, well, should I let so-and-so on? He might cuss. Should I put so-and-so in the movie? She's a little wild. That's when you start having to make those kind of decisions. Because the truth is, non-Christians generally don't want to hear about Christian stuff unless they're on the fence.
Here's a question I have to ask you. Here's a question I have to ask you. Are we dealing with the new Christian? Is he dealing with is Kevin on stage dealing with the new Christian? What I mean by the new Christian, meaning like kind of like the people, not say the people who like Tyler Perry stuff, but like it's like what we talked about here in Atlanta. It's like you got people who can go to church and then they get high, they drink, whatever, and they just do them, and they still go to church. You know what I'm saying? Like, is he dealing with that market? Because to me personally, I've never heard nobody say anything like, I don't like what Kevin on stage is doing from a Christian perspective. And maybe I'm behind the scenes.
He's gotten a ton of Christian backlash, a ton. Yeah.
Really? Recently?
Yes.
I mean, I haven't.
Yeah. He's talked about it himself. He used to do like a Thursday theology thing. He shut it down because he was like, man, everything I do. He had Jackie O'Perry on. They yelled at him about that. Like, he was like, shh, forget it. I'm not doing it.
I mean, he walks the line, so he's going to get backlash on every side. But going back to non-believers, I don't believe that non-believers don't want truth. I actually believe they want truth. I think they don't want religion. They don't want to be judged. They don't want to be preached to. But they want truth. They want it, whether we like to admit it or not.
They may want truth, but they don't want Christians. So if you say you're a Christian, whether you have truth or not, I mean, like, we've literally seen it. This is a Christian. What now? Excuse me. What now? No, I don't want Christians. So that's the hard thing as a Christian. And that's where the problem comes in. You almost feel like you have to hide that part of you to get allowed in the door. Jason mentioned, but they like Kanye and Chance. Yeah, but Kanye and Chance are the perfect example of being halfway Christian, halfway not. They love that. I'm talking about people who are legitimately Christians but their natural target market is other Christians, but their desired target market is non-Christians. That's a hard sell.
It is. I mean, the word Christian, honestly, can be offensive to people. And in some cases it's supposed to be, because we already know Christ is supposed to be the ultimate, or is the ultimate stumbling block. But then at other cases, it's offensive because Christians have been jerks in the past. So it's like, I think we try to shy away from that for that reason more than the other, if that makes sense.
So I think with Invisible, I'll say your name wrong, bro. What's the difference between Kevin on stage and Tyler Perry or even TD Jakes?
TD Jakes, again, TD Jakes is another category to me. I think TD Jakes is somebody who their platform is more designed for Christians. Now, I'm not saying that non-Christians don't look at Christian stuff, because even though gospel, I'll put him in a gospel category. Even though gospel is designed for Christians, a lot of non-Christians absorb gospel because either they grew up in church or they feel like they need some sort of connection to Jesus. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who are trying to actually infiltrate culture to get into people's lives on days other than Sunday. You see what I'm saying? That's the challenge I'm talking about. Not the people who I'll accept Jesus only on Sunday, so then I'll turn on a TD Jakes or whatever. And that's my Christian category for the day. I'm talking about what I believe we desire. You tell me if I'm wrong. What I believe we desire is that I can make a movie that can go right up and compete with a Jurassic World or Top Gun Maverick. Not a Christian movie that people see because it's a good thing to do. You know what I mean?
I think if you,
am I wrong about that?
I think if you look at like a Toby Nwigwe, right? He's done it, right? His content is, if you ask me, is still Christian. Like, there's still the Lord in his content. Now, he might teeter the line a little bit sometimes, but I think when you look at how he interacts with his wife, how he interacts with his kids, like, it's Christian content. You see the Christ behind it, if you ask me. But I think he's still in the mainstream, been on BET, he's blowing up everywhere. But if you ask me, I think he's doing it right. You know, I mean, it's not necessarily all just Christians at his concerts either.
Lost. That's another perfect example. NF and Toby. And I'm not saying this is a specifically Christian problem. This happens to everybody. For example, Charlemagne the God. Charlemagne the God is now mainstream. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Charlemagne the God, when he started with the Breakfast Club, was super nasty, super disrespectful to women. And as he's gained in popularity, he's had to tamper that down to be acceptable in a mainstream setting. Other famous people have done the same thing. So Christians are faced with the same predicament as well. Toby and Wigway is not out there saying, I love Jesus, I'm trying to get you saved. It's not hidden, but not obvious that he's a Christian, right? There's tells. Oh yeah, he didn't curse on this. That's interesting. And if there's tells, oh, he didn't curse on this. But it's not like they know he's a Christian and they're accepting him as such. It's like he's different. I can't tell immediately that. I'm saying that world doesn't like Christians. So
here's the thing. Here's the thing, Sean. I'm sorry. I think with Toby, it's for the person that's watching him, it's like, oh, he's a spiritual dude. You get what I'm saying? It's not like Jesus, or it's not like trying to figure out, is he a Christian? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'll say this, for example, when you go to his Spotify, not station, but him on Spotify, when you click on him as an artist and you look at who's the artist, people like him, like, you know what I'm saying? His range is huge. His range go from No Big Deal to Earth Gang. You know what I'm saying? So he is a person where people are looking at like, I don't even think they know he's a believer. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think that's two different things of somebody that's like a Lecrae, where they know Lecrae is a believer. They know he's a Christian rapper. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Toby is like, he's dope, a dope artist. Oh, he's a believer? Okay. But they love his stuff. You get what I'm saying?
But that's exactly what I'm asking. Are you telling me that as a Christian coming up, I'm a creative and I want to be impactful to the world? You're telling me Toby, NF, so-and-so. The blueprint to me sounds like, let me hide some of the Christian stuff. Don't be so obvious with it, and just be a Christian and hope it kind of rubs off on people. Not overtly say, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing constantly. It sounds like that's the answer. It could be. I'm just asking, are you saying that is the answer to my question?
I'm not saying hide your faith. I'm saying if you want to be NF, Toby, you got to be okay with who you attract. You got to be okay if you're not getting accepted by the church. You got to be okay with some of those things. If you get backlash because you're not Christian enough, you got to be okay with that. But then for the people who are on the Lecrae side, where it's like, you know, honestly, it's three sides. It's the NF, Toby, it's the Chance, Kanye, and then it's Lecrae and us, and the rest of us. You know what I mean? So it's those three categories for Christians that you got to ask yourself, hey, if I'm gonna be more like Lecrae and them, you gotta understand now it's not just Christians that's going to hunt you down and kill you and hurt you online. It's other Christians, other Christian rappers.
Yeah, you catch it from both sides. Yeah.
Yeah. So then if you go to the NF Toby side, they're like, wow, I just love their music. I didn't know they're Christian. The music is dope. They give off good vibes, quote unquote. I love NF. He helps me go through hard times, blah, blah, blah. I don't know you're Christian. I found out he is. I think he's so dope. So it is what it is. He ain't preaching to me. That's the key word. He ain't preaching to me to change my life. He's just telling me I need to be better in this, whatever I need to do better. And then the swing of the needle is Kanye and Chance. So it's like, well, then I could be a Christian and I can still do me and God know my heart. He love me. I'm good. But I can still be out here wilding Monday through Friday, Saturday if they got something at the church or whatever week, you know what I mean? It's compartmentalizing my faith and the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? So I think those are the three categories we got to look at as creatives, because all those categories come with some type of backlash. Yeah. All of them. They all come with some type of backlash. You know what I mean?
Which one to you? Because Lecrae, the fourth example is somebody who is Jesus all the time, right? So which one of those people would you say, if you had to choose, because they're all effective, I'm not saying anything's wrong. Which one of those is the ideal path to take? Because I think that's what most Christians, when they're growing up, I know it was our question, right? We constantly asking, should we do? Because people used to kill us for line. They said that was crazy, right?
Yeah, still do.
They still do. So we had to decide, no, we really believe this is useful for the kingdom, even if Christians don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So everybody has to decide. But what I'm asking is, which one of those, to you, in your opinion, is the ideal path? The Kanye path, the Kev on Stage path, the Lecrae path, or the Jesus? I don't even want to put somebody in that. The Jesus path.
That's a hard.
Which one is the best
answer?
Because they all would say the other one is whack.
But everybody's called to different audiences. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people were called to edify Jews. People were called to reach Gentiles. So it's like. Yes. Everybody's called to a different path, and it doesn't mean that one is better than the other or that one is recommended over the other.
Which one would you do?
I mean, I honestly, I want to be me. Like, I want to unapologetically be me, and that means I'm gonna get backlash for Christians because, I'm gonna have those moments where I call out being religious or judgmental or whatever, but then at the same time, I'm not afraid to speak the name of Jesus. So it's like, if I had to choose between those three groups, I would probably be the Toby. I don't even want to say NF because I see why you put them in the same category, but I would probably be more in the Toby vein. I feel like the difference though between Chance and Kanye is their conversion, and I say that loosely because only the Lord knows the state of their heart, but their conversion happened in the limelight. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't necessarily have a chance to really, pun intended, really figure out how to present their message to the audience. They just had to change as the Lord touched their heart. So I kind of put them in a different category, but if I had to choose between NF, Toby, and then Lecrae and, CHH in general, I would go that route. But that's just because of who I am and who I know I'm called to reach. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't study apologetics like somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I value Bible study and I value taking it in for my own edification, but I'm not like, let me see how I can break down this verse. I'm more like, let me see how I can live this verse and see if it impacts people that way. But that's me personally. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, I'll say this. I use Brel as an example. OG Brel. If y'all don't know who Brel is, then you need to go back and check out his stuff. He was like boom bap, good, dope Christian rap. He said he changed the way he presented his material once he got under different teaching. And sometimes teaching can do that to you, where it's like you're under somebody who is very not secular, but very under somebody who is just like not very biblically based, like deep theology, you know what I mean? And not deep like we gonna break off this in Hebrew, how these lights are made and all, not that, but just like knowing the Bible and teaching you sound doctrine type stuff. He said for them years he was doing those other albums, he was like, man, I was doing albums and I was under a church that wasn't a bad church, but it was just not, the doctrine wasn't there that was changing my thought process of how to, like, I'm paraphrasing what he's saying, like changing who I was to a point where my pen was different. So once I got under somebody that was really challenging my thought process on certain things, I was like, oh, his pen started being different. So all that to say is, I don't think, honestly, depending on what God put in your heart to do, because some people, I remember Thizzle saying this. Thizzle was like, I could be reformed big time, but God is like, talk to the streets. And you gotta be okay with that as being a Christian creator. If we make more movies where it's more like The Dress versus the Kendrick brothers, we gotta be okay with that. We gotta be okay with the backlash that comes with it. But for the Kendrick brothers, rejection, we got rejected from The Dress so many times, man. Like just the story of that song. But what I'm saying to y'all is, there's different ways to present what God has called you to do, but you got to understand the backlash that comes with it. Because sooner or later, once the Kendrick brothers do something very crazy, their fan base is going to turn on them like, what are y'all doing? Y'all not doing this. Y'all moving away from what? And it's like,
So, but
no,
that's my point, Jeremiah. My point is it seems to me that if you really did it, how Maya said, I just want to be Maya. Right? We just want to be us. The problem is who you are as a Christian for real. There's no clean lane for that in the industry. Because who we are, Maya, are people who can talk about Jesus all day and people who can talk about Drake all day.
Exactly.
We are people who can talk about the latest, Marvel movie, and we're people who can tell you all about Proverbs. We can do all of those things, but the lane will tell you to pick one of those, right? So are you able to really, really be you when there's no money to it, when there's no success to it, when there's no praise to it? That's why I'm saying, because there's a lot of creatives that are young, maybe not or not young, that's the decision you have in front of you. Because the lane will tell you, Trackstarz, your mission is to reach the lost. Don't do a topic called the Christian Creator's Dilemma. That's against your target, right? But that's a question I actually have. That's a question we actually talk about. So should we hide that questions to fit a demo? Should we hide the Drake Dissect to make sure we don't offend the Christians? That's what I'm saying. Those are decisions, just thousands of decisions like that Christians have to make constantly. And if you really are honest with yourself, there's not clear lanes for those that are easy money success that most artists want. That's why it's a real question.
Yeah, I think it's also depending on what industry you're in, right? So I think if you look at like a Mark Jackson, he's on ESPN. I mean, he does his job. He's unapologetically Christian. I think if you look at Skip Bayless, he's had some behavior issues, right? But they would, at least when I used to watch First Take, they would openly speak about Jesus, and it wasn't a one-time thing, right? So I think maybe depending on what industry you're in media,
the industry
it could be a little
matters.
easier.
Sports is a lot easier to do because the thing you're talking about isn't Christian or not. Just like Chick-fil-A, chicken is not Christian or not. Sports is not Christian or not, but your music and your films are considered Christian or not. Are you cursing or are you not? Is there sex scene or is there not?
I think the harvest is ripe right now. And I think if you're smart enough, if you present what God gave you, they will come to it. Jerry said in the comments, people were smoking weed at Maverick City concert. And Maverick City is lifting up the name of the Lord.
Amen.
You get what I'm saying? Like these people, like they're just saying, come, let God change you. You know what I'm saying? You can come to the concert. We don't care, whatever you've done. Just come. We want the Lord. I want you to experience Jesus. So I think for us, it is good to strategize. I'm big on marketing. I'm big on strategizing your single. Who's your fan base? I'm big on that. But at the same time, when you create something as a creative, if you say, hey, God has given me a story about, kind of like the Kingdom Business show, where it's a girl who is a dancer. She's trying to come out of dancing and get into the gospel world. You know what I mean? That's my story. I need to tell that story. Or somebody says, hey, I want to tell the story about, the guy who made the cross for Jesus. Two different stories. One story could be about redemption. The other story could be about salvation. You know what I mean? So it's like, we got to be okay with what God has given you to do. Same thing with our platforms, Christian hip hop platforms and stuff. Trackstarz, Crew, That's Not Christian. Everybody's platform is different. And we know who you're targeting. When I watch That's Not Christian, I know who their target is. I mean, I probably won't say it because that's just who they target. When I see the Crew, I know who their target is. When I see us, I know who our target is. We got to be okay. And I think the problem is like, we're trying to figure out, is that the right way to do that? Is that the right way to do that? Is that way right? You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying everything got to be cookie cutter, because some people know, like, hey, I'm gonna be in them streets. I'm talking to some dudes. They may curse. You know what I mean? I'm talking to them about God. We have a conversation like this, and then I'm smart enough to learn how to bring it in to God. Yeah. We may have a talk about Drake, and what do you think about Drake's new album? Well, blah, 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 blah. What did you think about God's plan when he did God's plan? It was all right. God's plan. Yeah. So what do you think about God, and when you think how God felt about God's plan? Well, I don't think it's a God. Well, why don't you think it's a God? You see how I just transitioned from Drake
Jeremiah, that's exactly right. Just so you understand, at the end of the day, the answer is make sure you are as honed into who God wants you to be as possible. Make sure you're not making excuses for filth, and make sure that even if it doesn't work, that you're doing what God asked you to do.
Amen.
What he asked us to do was to create content that you guys out there can use as tools to minister to your friends.
Yeah.
Why we made Line for Line is so that the person who likes Drake or the person who listens to every XXL Freshman and eats it up, you can say, okay, well, look at this Line for Line and tell me honestly if you think these guys are better than these guys. It's a conversation starter. The reason we could do a Drake Dissect is because we want you to take it and say, hey, to the Drake lover out there, did you consider this and that? To the Kendrick lover, did you consider this and that? It's a way for you to start conversations to actually make a difference. That's what we decided to do. It may not look like everybody else's, but that's who we believe we're supposed to be. Even if it doesn't work, even if we don't get a lot of views on the video, even if we don't get any money for it, we're trying to make sure that we do what we're asked to do. And if it happens to blow up and be some sort of big success, dope. Because it gives us more money to do more of it. But however much of it he allows us to do is how much of it we're going to do for as long as we can. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to bring that topic up because that's a conversation I know inside of your heart. If you're a young creative, that's something you're like, man, I want to be successful so I could do this all the time. So then you start making little compromises, or you start taking this away and taking that away. It's okay. Everybody goes through it, but you're not alone. This platform is here for you to work those things out. So anyway, let's get back into it. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
You in the field with the Trackstarz, running with the Trackstarz, tracking with the Trackstarz, in the Trackstarz Universe. Ooh, stay on track with us.
All right, back in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Go to trackstarz.com for all the latest. If you want to submit your own line for line, you could do that on trackstarz.com. If you're an artist and you want to be in line for line in like a showdown, make sure you go to trackstarz.com/music. That's submission. We're currently the number 6 music submission website in the entire world. If you go to Google and type music submission, scroll down, you'll see Trackstarz. That's crazy. So send us your music. We can send it to the right places. We have a single maximizer. We have Nectar distribution. Even if you're on DistroKid or CD Baby or TuneCore, come hang out with us. It's only $19.99 a year. Just even if you don't use it, just jump on with us. We got a lot of cool stuff we're working on. All right, Jeremiah.
All right, man. This is XXL. This is annually. We do this annually. XXL Freshman versus Rapzilla Freshman. First off, I want to shout out all the people, the freshmen from Rapzilla, because some of you guys probably didn't make this. Shout out to Q Flow, who was on the show recently. Alcod. Shout out to Bats. I'm trying to think of other people that I remember on there, because the people that, because of course we're back into our battle form. What Sean picked was a little bit more street and a little bit more hood than just spitting bars and a little vibier. So we had to go vibe for vibe. You know what I'm saying? So, but with that being said, the views and opinions of Trackstarz are not the Trackstarz. I'm sorry, the views and opinions of the Trackstarz and Trackstarz Universe are not the views and opinions of the artists, the label, producer, and others. If you feel offended by this, please press stop now. If you're a person wanting to listen to Christian artists ain't your cup of tea, man, we do react videos. You can check out topics, interviews. You can go check them out. We're not copying any other battle format. We've been doing this since the 2000s. These artists, Rapzilla, Freshmen, are not the Christian version of anybody. Is just a bit. All right. So Sean,
Lord,
you want to start us off?
Jeremiah, listening to these artists.
Yo, you know what's so funny about this one? The so funny thing about this one was after I told Sean, okay, we gotta do this because it hit this week. It hit the double XL hit this week, and I was like, after I was like, you have fun doing that? Because I knew. You know what? I knew Sean would. Knowing Sean, I was like, bro, you have fun doing this? He's like, absolutely not.
But I did find gems though. There were some artists that I thought were pretty good. And I'll comment on them as we go, why I thought they had a chance to be good. But man, I just don't get some of these, man. Some of these don't make any sense why they got chosen. I just don't get it, but whatever. You ready?
Yeah, man, let's go.
All right, let's start with, I don't know how to say this person's name. I think it's Cochise or Cochise or something like that.
Cochise.
Hatchback.
My shirt, they see some messy fat. I can pull up, just stay where you at. Better hope I don't get where you land. I might put the whole team on my back. Everywhere that I go, had a snack. Had to sip out, I just had a match. Put like a hatch. I had to get to the rags. I had to give me a stack. Don't have the time to relax. Me and the brothers attached. I had to fish like a pack. I got that vibe with the black. Had to wake up and chase in the sun.
Wow, okay. That was Cochise Hatchback. This is TJ Corral, East Side, South Side. Here we go.
All that cabin folks doing, throw them on a magazine, tell them to put on for Vogue. Oh, that drip when I put on my clothes. Grab my Bible and step out the door. That's my rifle, they enemy close. We gon' slime him out, wiping his nose. I'ma praise big God, his name on high. We ain't never ever keeping that low. All you really gotta do is say one time. You slide, you know we on go. It's field for real. Got cleats in the field for real. I been heard that talking, it sound good, but you don't even feel for real. He said that me can hear that herb. I'm hungry, I'm chasing a meal. He been handing talents out, I ain't bury it. I'ma double the scale. I'm moving like a
All right, that was TJ Corral, East Side, South Side versus Cochise Hatchback. Who you going with?
DJ.
Crispy.
So I'm copping out early. I'm tossing. Man, I thought they were. I actually like both. I've never heard of Cochise, TJ Corral. Heard of him, of course, in the space, but I actually liked it. The more and more I heard the first one, the Cochise one. And then TJ Corral, I think it was all the way through. It was just consistently good, right? But I ended up liking the first one, so I'm tossing. That was a hard one.
Maya.
I got TJ on that one.
So Cochise, we're going with that.
Yeah, Cochise.
I actually liked him. I actually put when I do this, I go and I make a playlist and I throw songs in there that I'm going to consider for later. Then later I go through and pare them down. I actually put 2 of his songs in the list before I pared it down. So I was like, oh, this kid is actually pretty good. I like that song. I think I like TJ's a little bit more actually though. But Cochise is one of the good ones. I was surprised how many artists they put in there that actually sounded more like they knew how to rap and had more soul to them. I was surprised they're more than normal on this list. All right, but I got TJ. What you got?
I would use my toss, but I know what's coming. So I think I'm gonna give the edge to TJ. Just by edge. But that Cochise was good. Like it is. I understand why somebody would vote for him because that was a very good. He was really good.
All right, what y'all got?
TJ.
What y'all got? What y'all got? Let me know when you can see the answer. I can't see anything.
TJ.
TJ online.
TJ.
TJ online.
Okay.
Yippers.
TJ got that. Okay.
All right.
All right.
It's on
So
you.
Rapzilla's up 1-0 against them. All right. I'm gonna start off with Ray Knowledge. This is round 2. Shoof. Here we go.
I'm from Louisiana, so I'm bout it. They been doubting me, so I don't need nobody. Why they keep on talking like it, daddy. If you got nothing good to say, better to keep your mouth closed. That's what I was told. Never sell my soul, can't walk in my soul. I lost everything and got it back again. Must be a summer ride, nobody cut like me, not even close. Hey, make sure you come with no drama. Diamonds dancing like the heat waves in summer. Had to get it from the bottom, now I'm counting commas. Comma, yeah. Had to pause and really think about it. Had to take a breath and get the smoke about it. I've been grinding since a feet.
All right, that was Ray Knowledge. Shoof. All right, Sean, what you got?
All right, I'm gonna go Big Scar MJ.
Like I'm bulletproof. AMG big Cartier hanging out the roof. Down on my side, not a 22. Step on the opposite part of designer shoes. On my they what money do. I'm with your trying to see what they honey do. Sent out for a low prayer, make it through. Phone ringing now, no, I can't wait a day or two. Walk hard got me feeling sensational. Say this your but to me she look takeable. She say that I look like a snake. Told her meet in the back, ate like an edible. After this, I can't chill and relax. Gotta get to the bed. Let me check on my schedule. To my ice on my neck, change the weather up. So ice gang, nobody big as us, gang. Whoa.
So, all right, that was Big Scar MJ versus Ray Knowledge. Shoof. Who y'all going with?
Lost.
So MJ, I love this voice. I'm gonna give it to Ray Knowledge because I felt like MJ fell off as far as like his flow in some spots. But other than that, I thought it was real close. Actually, now I want to go and listen to that. Man, y'all set me up.
Talking about the Big Scar MJ joint?
Yeah, because Shoof is already hit my playlist.
you
I already know
that.
that. Love the song.
Okay.
But
So
now
you
I
going
want
with
to
Big Star?
No, I'm going Ray Knowledge.
Okay.
Ray Knowledge.
Maya.
I got Ray Knowledge on that one too.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. I picked this one because I thought the beat was fire and I wish I had it. He did okay on it. Like Lost said, he was off a little bit to me. But again, who knows now? I don't know what people like. So maybe he did it on purpose. But it sounded like his flow was a little off. But I thought the beat was crazy. Like if it was juiced up a little bit, I think it would have been perfect. But yeah, I got Ray on that too. Ray is super talented, man.
Yeah. First off, Ray Knowledge, what he's brought to Christian hip hop visually is amazing as a director. Like he's killing the game right now.
Like a setup.
He's killing it right. But at the same time, that Big Scar was dope. I don't know, man. I think another edge to Ray Knowledge, another edge to
Ray had the moments in there that make it single worthy. When he paused, he's like, man, I gotta think about that. Like that's interesting. It adds interest to the track. Whereas I love the beat for Big Scar, but again, like he wasn't doing anything interesting to me vocally.
It wasn't complete.
Yeah. So that's a 5-0 because online is Ray Knowledge. I think everybody here picked Ray Knowledge, right? Is it correct?
Yep, birds.
Okay. So
that's Ray Knowledge on mine. Yep.
2-0. Rapzilla.
Alcott is requesting Babytron. Let me tell you my experience with Babytron. I did have him in here at one point. I think, yeah, I took him out. I did have Babytron in here. I didn't know who the freshmen were, the Rapzilla freshmen. There was one person I think would have fit really well against Babytron, but since I didn't know, I took him out because it was very strange. It was very strange, but there's one guy I think, I didn't know if he was a freshman or not. He could have killed him. But anyway, I took him out. I had to take another person out we'll talk about later, but we'll get to that.
All right. I am going to, I think I started last. You started.
Okay. Yeah, it's my turn. I think it's Casey. I'm going to go with Casey. Hold You Up.
Baby, on a common day, get what you give, it's a common day. Say you listen, I accommodate. Yeah, get it all in just one day. How does it feel getting everything? I know you're not used to everything. You call me, I never just let it rain. I rescue you from the DEE. Till we in the shallow so you can use your feet. I can be your leg, feeling weak.
What you got, man?
Yeah, why the dogs barking for real. I was vibing to it though. I'm like,
This divorce music. Like, whoa.
It was dope though. Go ahead.
Exactly, Q Flow. Exactly, sir. That was KC. Hold you up. This is IMRSQD. Relying. I'm using this song. Oh, here we go.
Like my enemies trip and stumble, he fights for evil, exalt the humble. My life is in his hands, every plot twist fall down and crumble. I pray for righteousness, I don't need blessings. I fight the good fight like it's Tekken. I eat every feature for breakfast. My flow is refined through the tempest. My cadence so weapon, I can't explain it. I pray for mercy and kindness, only one life is so priceless. He fights my enemies, you are the one I delight in.
All right, that was I'm RSQD Relying versus KC Hold You Up. Who y'all got?
Lost.
Yeah. I love I'm Rescued. That dude, I heard him say he took like a year or two just to work on his vocal tone, and it shows.
That's what his name is? I'm Rescued?
I'm Rescued, yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Amen. That's
and no, it's
beautiful.
fire, but I'm just saying, I'm spelling it out like it's an acronym or something. It's I'm Rescued.
Most people did that, right?
It's just they take the vowels out, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it was dope. I'm gonna go with Casey though, because I thought just as a complete song, I was like, I really like that.
Yeah, Maya.
That's a tough one, man. I didn't think you was gonna be able to come with something to match that. But I'm gonna go with I'm Rescued.
I like the I Am Rescued, but man, KC, this is where I was like, man, I was a little surprised that somebody like this was on a XXL Freshman list. Like, I didn't think they had soul like that. I thought it was all like the mumble dudes. But I thought he was really good, KC. So I got him.
This was, I think, I like what I'm Rescued did, but I like what Casey did a little bit better. So I'm going with KC right there. So that's right now it's 3-1. But yeah. So
I'm Rescued got super chat.
Okay. I ain't see it come up yet. Okay.
3-2.
Okay.
So it's up to y'all. What y'all got? Call it.
I'm Rescued online.
Let's
So
toss.
that's a wash. 3-3. Okay.
All right.
Okay, Michelle coming with the jump shot at the end.
It's on you.
It's on me?
Yeah.
I'm starting off round 4?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That was a wash from round 3. Tied up 3-3. Here we go. I'm going to start off with A3. Ride with me. Here we go.
Ride with me, hold my grandma proud of me. Will we make it properly? I don't mean it properly. I just mean that God will lead. I just mean that God will, yeah. The way this all began to spoke. Living free, never falling. On my knees, thank you, Lord. Let's just let it go. Rock and roll, pop and go. God is yours. Ride with me, baby, you can ride with me. Ride with me.
A3 versus Drake, line for line.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That was my guy.
That sounds-
A3, ride with me. What you got, Sean Tanner?
All right, I'm going to go with Doechii. This is Persuasive.
All right, that was Doechii with Persuasive versus A3 Ride With Me. Who y'all going with?
So I'm gonna go with Doechii. I like that one. I did like that one more. I thought A3 sounded really good for like sync. And then also just in our space, like he's taking a lot of chances. I think he could have easily just like followed off of like 350's coattails just to make it right. But he's made his own lane, his own sound. He's killing it. So I liked it, his joint. But this one maybe it's just a bias on like the type of sound it is, more like that Caribbean-ish type influence. So I like that one, Doechii, a little bit more.
Maya.
Doechii.
Doechii.
Was good.
So here's my thing with Doechii. Here she sounds like a soulful young lady, but her other song she sounds exactly like Nicki Minaj. 100% Nicki Minaj.
You know who she signed to, right?
Who?
Top Dog Entertainment. Kind of Kendrick could do.
She sounds exactly like. I mean, and low key a little bit better, but exactly like Nicki
Yikes.
Minaj.
Does
Like,
she rap over those H&M beats?
It's just her in vocal tone. I mean, somebody had to have told her that because this song doesn't sound anything like her other stuff. Her other stuff is more straight hip hop.
Gotcha.
So when I heard this, I was like, "That's interesting. That's a very kind of soulful version of what she did before." So,
Here's a
but
question.
I liked it. I liked it. So I'm gonna go Dolce.
Is she a more tame Azalea Banks? Because Azalea Banks' style is rapping over H&M style beats.
I don't know her that well, so I don't know.
You know who Azalea Banks is, right?
I know who she is, but I don't know her stuff like that.
Oh, well, her stuff is more like stuff that you would hear. When I say H&M beats, I mean like if you somebody said it earlier, if you walk in H&M and you hear those type of house type.
No, but just think Nicki Minaj, and then the same stuff on top of Nicki Minaj music. It's the same. It like just.
No, that's what I'm saying. But it's the beats. I mean, I can go back and go to her profile and see. But is the beats like what you're saying, like how that was, what she just did on
No,
Persuasive?
it's like Nicki Minaj. Like this is the only one that sounded different to me.
Oh,
the other
okay.
one
So
sounds
when you-
straight like a
so
Nicki
pop
record.
Nicki or like
Pop,
rap
like
Nicki?
pop, rap Nicki is just
Okay, got you.
Nicki.
Oh, wow.
It sounds like Nicki. So, and it just I may be wrong. I'm not encouraging you to listen, but you can
versus
fact
Not
check
of
me.
the World.
You can fact check me, but she sounded like Nicki a lot. But I like that one, so I'm gonna go Dolce. What you got, Jeremiah?
I don't know, man. I like the Ride With Me joint.
I like
the
that too.
Doja one was
I
dope
liked
too.
it too. And you didn't even play the hook. The hook on that joint is crazy.
I know. You didn't give me no guidance. Normally, but hey, do this.
Because I don't care about these people, Jeremiah. I only do the ones that I care about.
No.
If I do Andre 3000, best believe I'm sending you time to the second, to here to here.
I'm going to say I'll give it an 8-3. It was close though. This was a close one to me. So.
All right, what y'all got?
Yeah.
What they have? What y'all got? It's what 3-1?
Oh, Dolce.
It's 3-1 right now. Dolce. Oh, Dolce won that round.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dolce.
Oh,
4-1. All right. They're on the board. It's 2-1 now. 2-1. The score is 2-1.
All right,
Rapzilla,
I'm
Freshman.
starting with Sofago, Off the Map.
Had to tell my mama, yeah, I got them racks. Had to tell my twin, yeah, we got that bag. If he suck, then he stuck, yeah, like that. And he know, he not leaving like that. And he know, and he know, and he know. And he know, and he know, and he know. Benny Hanna with a Mexico. She get lit, yeah, that like to do. She gon' and she like when I
I'm sorry. I read a comment. I didn't mean to laugh. Somebody said, I don't care about these people unless they get the single maximizer.
If I see a single maximizer come in from Dolce, we out of here.
That's hilarious. All right, that
go
was
ahead.
Safe to Go. Off the Map. This is True God. Rigged Warfare. Here we go.
Down bad, this the anthem. Yeah, even in the battle, sing your praise, keep your hands up. I can't even cap, this ain't easy, give this ransom. Boys pay the fool, you got questions, he's the answer. Nothing in the something, walking shame, had my hair low. Lost at me in flames, in depression, had my neck choked. I thought I was stuck in them chains, bro. Walking dead zombie, now I'm saved, got my halo. Yeah, punch depression in its nostrils, it's on sight, I'm starting problems. Rock with Jesus, don't need caution, yeah.
Trigger. Rigged Warfare versus Sofago. Off the Map. Who y'all going with?
Lost.
Man, so Fago, objectively speaking, to me, in my opinion, this was absolute trash.
Over both of them?
Terrible. It was basura. All right. Shout out to my Dominicans.
Basura.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in Trey God all day. That I couldn't do that first track.
Maya.
Baby.
I love, yeah. I wasn't a fan of neither one of them, quite honestly. So I did a toss because I couldn't bring myself to vote for one of them.
I think the Sofago music was great. It didn't come off sounding good through this system, but I think his instrumental sounded great. I don't know what he was saying, honestly, because I didn't care. But I thought that instrumental was good.
Nasty. Nasty stuff.
Was he? You had to listen to
Nasty.
it. But I like
All
Trey
these
God
people
too.
nasty.
Did I toss yet? I think this is a toss for me.
No.
This is a toss for me because I thought the Solfego music was great.
Yeah, it sounded dope. I am going with Trey God. And we
All right,
got
what Trey God looks like he got that one.
Yeah.
All right, what's the overall so far?
I think what's the online? What's on? Oh, Trey God online too. That's 3-1. 3-1. Rapzilla's up 3-1.
It's on you.
All right, man. This is round 6. Round 6. Here we go. God fearing. You ain't heard.
They see me on the ride. Keep the Lord first when I'm out on the grind. They can't believe that we blew like a bomb. Every day I just be thinking my God. For all them prayers I was sent from my mom. Please don't hate me cause you see it's my time. You know me, I don't even pay no mind. Only stepping, I came with some clapping. Same play, I unload on the tackle. He was trying to play 5 and he hacking. In that word, I be strapped, I ain't lacking. Man, I got no, I don't just be rapping. Can't believe my cuz gone in the casket. When I'm hurt, I get powerful. We gon' stuff. For the low, we ain't playing no game. Play with him.
All right, that was God fearing. You ain't heard. Sean, what up?
All right, we're going to go Nardo Wick, Me or Some.
She say she got a man, I act deaf, I don't hear her. Come here, girl, stop playing, let me put Eat what's in my pants, they don't gotta go to dinner. I stole her heart, that shine, I still like sorry, I'm a sinner. Let her put my chains on, now she think she me or something. Got a special ringtone, when it beep, I know she coming. She just put her hair on, now she think she flee or something. Nardo hit out, she's dead. When she scream, I know she monkey. I put her in LV, on my feet is LV. I think I'm a lover, voice ain't T, like LV.
Yeah,
Right,
Kenneth, you got it right. Yep. He called Nardo Wick.
That's Nardo Wick, Me or Some versus God fearing. You ain't heard. Who y'all going with?
Lost.
God fearing, bro. That's the original switch up that they did in the beat. I don't know if it was the producer or the engineer. I wasn't expecting it. It took me out. I was like, oh my God, this is winning regardless of who you play next. God fearing, easy.
Maya.
God fearing.
Okay. So Nardo Wick was my third choice for this. Who I wanted to put was what's the man's name?
Saucy Santana.
Saucy Santana.
Oh, Saucy.
Saucy Santana had a song called Booty. And me and Jeremiah, it was good. It had like a Beyonce sample. And me and Jeremiah were like, we can't play that. Can't play that.
He'd be the first to leave. Well, we don't know this. I was an openly gay dude on.
It wasn't because of that. It was because
openly femme.
It wasn't because of that. It wasn't because of that, because I would have still played it for that. But it's just saying booty every 10 seconds. I was like, I don't want to hear somebody say booty on our airways like that. So, but it was a good song though. He did a good job on it. That was the only song that he did good on, by the way. This is God fearing, man. This is good. It was very good. And Nardo Wick, that song was really bad, I thought.
You chose
out of the rest of the track. What are you talking about? I was like, okay, I can't use what's his face? Saucy Santana. I can't use what's the other kid that I was going to use? Baby something. So I went with Nardo Wick because it had the most plays. That's the only reason I chose it. The rest of it was garbage. I had to listen to so much trash. And then it's hard enough when I had to do like Meg Thee Stallion. I got to listen to her stuff all day. Just trash artist after trash artist, back to back to back. But these were the best ones, I think.
I'm gonna go with God fearing.
Oh my gosh.
So how did you pick? Well, do we say who's gonna be on round 7? Or y'all want to do round 7 here, or what we would?
What's the score?
It's really
over.
4-5. Well, 4-1.
Yeah.
Snap!
No, we're not doing that. We're overtime here because of all the problems. But yeah, I would say I was surprised that there were some artists in there that to me are good on that list, more than I've noticed in the past. But man, the ones that are just the same old is bad. And then some of the women, I tried to include more of them. Just nasty stuff, man. It's just all nasty. Just nasty.
Well,
so
Our
City
original round 7 was Ken the Man, which is like, she sounded like Lotto to me.
Yeah.
But from Houston. That's what it sounded like. Lotto from Houston versus Reese Lachey would have been a good one. So, but Ken the Man was so nasty. I had to reverse him on half of that track.
So anyway,
like nasty. I'm like, you just being nasty just to be nasty. That's what it is. You know what I mean? Like
that was the best that I found. That was the best that I found out of all that stuff. So hey, the Rapzilla guys, and we didn't. There's Rapzilla guys we didn't even play that would have killed these guys too.
But that's the
maybe
thing.
do a part 2 with the other ones, and we'll find matches for them because, oh man, that's gonna be a blowout.
Well, here's the thing: the Cuter Flows. Somebody said I could have did Bats and Cochise. Maybe I could have. You know what I mean? But I'm just thinking about those guys. For some strange reason, on the mainstream side, on the XXL side, it didn't sound like the people that they was chosen were like Benny the Butcher type people. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like they really want vibes to be in right now. Vibes and
100%.
And like nasty women and nasty gay men, I guess. I don't know. That's what it is.
That song was fire though. I would have got you with that one. I would have got you with that one.
I had some more though.
Okay.
I had some more.
All right.
So are you trying to tell me Sean is line for line ready for Lil Nas X? That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. He deserves a line for line, if honestly.
Oh my God. All right. Were you in the field with the Trackstarz? Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ. Thank you guys for joining us today. Thank you, Lost. Thank you, Maya. Tell them how to find you so they could get that project when it's out.
Yeah, at DJ Lost and Found on all platforms. That's at DJ Lost, letter and Found on all platforms, and DJLostandFound.com. And I just dropped some merch as well. So if you go to my website, you can shop there for new merch.
Wait, hold on real quick. We got big news. We have breaking news. We got nominated again for another Spin Award. So shout out to everybody at the Spin Awards. Thank y'all for thinking of Trackstarz, man. Thank y'all so much.
That's awesome. We appreciate that. All right, let's get back into it. You in the field with the Trackstarz, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let go.
Now, I'm in the field with Trackstarz right now. I had a blessed time. Hopefully, you guys are listening. If you're not, then you're losing.